Hello humans. I'm supposed to be cleaning the house, packing the last few bits for the move. 2 days to go. I don't want to. I really don't want to. So I'm going to do the FVK tag. Better late than never. Yes, I am aware that they split up over a year ago. We don't talk about that. So I have my list of questions. When did you discover Fearless Vampire Killers? That was the 20th of December 2012. 2. How did you discover Fearless Vampire Killers? Well, I don't know if you've heard of this band called My Chemical Romance, but their singer Gerard Way tweeted about these guys, and he mentioned a number of other bands. I'd look them up. Not my cup of tea at all. So when I clicked the @FVKillers link, I did not hold out much hope, I have to admit. But I just clicked over to their profile, clocked their aesthetic, and thought, me likey. Saw that they were British. That would be a first, liking a British band, I thought. Wonder what they sound like. Which leads us on to number 3. What was the first song you heard? I'm not 100% sure. I think it was Palace in Flames. All I remember is clicking over onto YouTube, clicking the first option, and most of the bands I've ever liked have taken me a while to warm up to. I'm not inclined to get into a band from one song, but yeah, I was hooked that quickly. 4. Have you seen FVK live, and if so, how many times? Well, yes, I have. I have seen Fearless Vampire Killers a total of 21 times. My first show was the 14th of April 2013 in Oxford. It wasn't the first show I could have gone to, but the options I had before that were them as a supporting band, and one was a day festival, and I had never been to a gig of any description before, and no, not brave enough for that. And you know, it's not that I have a problem with seeing a support band or going to see a show particularly for a support band, but I kind of think it's rude to just go for a support band and to have no knowledge or interest in the main act. So that seemed rude, so I was sort of holding back, which turned out to be a really good thing because my first show was epic. And I went to obviously a whole load more shows, including one in Bridgewater, which is just down the road from where I am now, which was pretty cool. And yeah, right up to the farewell shows, and I got tickets for the evening show, and then they announced the matinee, and I held back because I felt it, you know, the evening show had sold out so quickly. They put on the matinee for everyone who couldn't get the evening show tickets, so I wasn't going to, and 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 then I did. So because they hadn't sold out yet, so, and I was going to be there, so whatever. No regrets. 5. Favourite FVK song? Why are you asking me to choose? Well, I have quite a few. City Falls to Dust, because I have tattoo lyrics fetish for the finite because I have tattoo lyrics. Turn your heaven to a tomb. Love that. So upbeat. And then you listen to the lyrics and it's just like oh god. Palace in Flames. Could We Burn Darling? Danger. Oh, they're all good, especially the Lawrence ones. Which leads us on to number 6. Favourite member. Well, if you don't know and you can't guess, look at my art chat videos, because there's clues aplenty there. 7. Show us your FVK merch collection. Well, a lot of my stuff is at the new house or packed, but I own that much that there's still some stuff here. My deluxe Militia of the Lost. My kids got the first 3 signatures and they made me do the last 2, which was very nice of them to do that, because otherwise I'd have never had the nerve to go up to Lawrence, and yeah, less said about that the better. I do like having hard copies of music. I like to have multiple copies of music. I like to have the demo versions, so just in case. See, I have problems. I'm aware of this. I got a splodge on my demo of Neon because it was out whilst I was writing my last uni essay. I wrote my last uni essay on the creativity and genius that is the lyrics of Neon in the Dance Halls. They didn't give me a very good grade for it, and I'm very upset about that. They just don't understand. More demos. Original Blood Never Dries EP. Things you find on eBay. Bruises pin badges. The wall bag. Yes, we have a slight problem when it comes to the books. Because I have reading copies, I have for best copies. I'm not going to be able to find it now. I have the Lawrence's handwriting in Latin copies. Yeah. The signed copies. Yeah, I have a bit of a problem. And at the Nook I have a signed cymbal and drumsticks, and I have intentions of having them wall mounted like a shield and crossed swords, if I can figure out how to do it. So that's a few of my bits and pieces, and basically the advantages of being old are that there is nobody to stop you buying all the stuff on the store, which can also be problematic for your bank balance. 8. Favourite moment with FVK. How about all of them? One of the best things was at the farewell show, and you know, the hardcore of us traipsed round to the car park to wave them off, and I kept being beside Luke, and I had been trying to nab him all evening for a hug, and every time he turned the other way, whichever side I was on, he went the opposite direction. I don't think it was deliberate, but it was a tad unfortunate. So eventually I'm just like, oi, you, hug. God knows what he made of me. It's just, but I've never done anything like that in my life. But it was just like, you are not getting away without getting a hug. End of. Number 9, funniest moment with FVK. The first time meeting Lawrence, and he was kind of giving me funny looks, probably trying to think, what is that strange potato that is looking at me, and eventually, you know, between meeting and greeting people, he doesn't, you're Heggy, right? And my world just kind of went, because in those days I didn't even use my photo on Twitter very much. I mean, it was like literally my eyes and hair, because I had like short spiky shit, and you know, and he said Heggy as well, and so many people say Hedgy on the first attempt, particularly if they've only seen it written down. And even people who have seen my name written down and heard it will still say Peggy and Meggie and God knows what other variants. So I was like, he got it right. And he knows my name. And then he said something like, it's really good to meet you at last. I'm like, you're stealing my lines. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh my God. And that was, afterwards it was hilarious. At the time it was terrifying, because I just didn't know what was going on. It was just so weird. Anyway, must get on with this. 10, favourite thing about FVK. It's kind of a toss-up between two things. Their creativity and their generosity. With the creativity, it's the fact that they had such a vision of what they wanted to create and no concept of being a small unsigned band. If they wanted to do something, it's more, how are we going to do this? Rather than, we can't do that, we haven't got the financial backing for that, it's too ambitious. Not in their lexicon at all. And just constantly churning out music and art, merchandise art, the books to go with it. Wow. It's all I can do to get out of bed in the morning. Flipping hell. Talk about productive. And that ties in with the generosity, because they launched the Obsidian Bond, a place for us to go and share and have an extra outlet for creativity for them. And also just the amount of time and effort they put into things like the Obsidian Bond and things that are fan focused. You know, always going above and beyond. And I have no disrespect at all for any band or band members who don't want to come out and say hello after a show. If you're tired, if you're stressed, if you're not in the mood for it, you don't have to, you shouldn't have to. The expectation should not be there. That kind of pressure should not be there, because I would much rather meet a band member who wants to be coming out and saying hi than one who feels like they have to. And, you know, particularly with some fans being the way they can, and I'm not saying FVK fans, I'm talking about any music fans. Some people do not know how to behave. I mean, we all say the wrong thing or misbehave a little bit on occasion. Nobody's perfect. But screaming teenage girls, overly aggressive types, grabby, shovey, pushy, needy, it's not attractive, and it's problematic. And, you know, your idols are human beings and they deserve respect at all times and in all places. I personally don't believe that you go up to somebody who's having a private conversation or eating, minding their own business, asking for an autograph, asking for attention, asking for a selfie, or just taking, that is, to me, no. And yes, they are in a public setting, perhaps, after a gig, coming out to talk to people, but you still behave yourself. You still treat them with respect. And that's something that gets ruined for a lot of bands, and I'm just glad it never got to that stage with FVK, that they never were in a position where they had to say, no, enough is enough, we're not going to do that anymore, because you lot can't behave your asses. So, hopefully, Keir's new band Inklings, I say new, it's not exactly that new now, but his next project Inklings, hopefully they don't get that kind of crap, and hopefully whatever the other guys do, hopefully soon, hopefully they don't have that crap either. Anyway, I have ranted about that far long enough. Question 11. Timids or Keveridge? Of the two, I'd say Timids, but I prefer a bit of Durance myself. 12. Member I most relate to. Lawrence probably, but I feel like I've got a fair bit in common with Shane as well. He seems a lot like me in some ways. I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out. 13. Which member's style is your favourite? I guess I'd say Luke. He is just so chill at all times, in all places, and I like that. 14. Favourite FVK lyric? Choices. Let's do the ones that I've got on me. So that is, you'll be there, I always get my tenses wrong. You'll be there in the sun's first rays of the morning. You'll be here in my blood till the day I die. From City Falls to Dust. So they're definitely high on the contention, but I think it's the ancient Greek that I've got from Fetish for the Finite. I can't stand another night knowing you're not mine. Because Lawrence sang that line like directly at me at my first show. That's got to be my favourite. 15. Favourite video. Could we burn Darling, probably. 16. If you could be in any FVK video, which would it be? All Hallows Evil. Plenty of people to hide behind. Me in a video, says the person who's doing a video on her phone. Yeah, not my comfort zone at all, believe it or not. 17. Dream lineup for an FVK tour. Well, this is another one that's quite difficult because so many of my favourite bands have disbanded, including But If All Things Were Possible. Ashes to Angels, for obvious reasons. Love them, have seen them 16 times to date. Wish I could see them again before I move, but it's not happening. Goodbye the Sunset, they just split up. All to Ruin, same. Basically, I've seen these guys supported by a lot of bands I would pick to be on that tour, so yeah. Number 18, is your llama in pieces or is your pelican in a dress? I'm moving in 2 days. My llama is definitely in pieces. And I just hope I've packed them all. 19, best thing about being a Lost Heart. It's just an amazing fandom. I have loved being a fan of these guys. I am older than the average fan. I'm not the only one, not by a long shot. But it's been amazing how many young fans have been totally accepting of me. I have kids their ages. I have kids that are older than they are. And the fact that we can talk as equals, as fans of a band, and I mean, there are problem patches in any fandom. There are cliques and lines drawn in the sand, but for the most part, it's been an amazingly welcoming fandom to be in, and I've loved it. And I just hope that that whatever comes next will be as good. But it won't be. It will be better. I can't wait. And 20. Which Lost Hearts do you tag to do the FVK tag? Well, I'm guessing that by now pretty much everyone who wants to do such a thing has done it, and I'm just, super late to the party, as always. But yeah, if you want to do it, do it. People are always telling me it's never too late. Maybe they're right. Laters.